Come now, children, come now. Gather round, gather on the little rug, gather in a little circle. I'm going to tell you the story of Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, I know. It released in 2014, and now it's 2023. God, this game is nearly 10 years old. Hello, welcome. I'm going to tell you about FNaF. I was asked to do this, and now I am doing it. And I got a little help from my boyfriend. So my boyfriend will also be joining me. So sit down, relax. This is not at all totally 100% serious. If you want something serious, then I'd suggest actually going out and finding a 10-hour long video on the FNaF lore, because that'll go over stuff that I don't have time to go into. This is just a short little thing. If you are actually curious, go and find. I highly recommend you go and find an actual recap video, because this ain't gonna be totally 100% serious. Sorry to disappoint. If I do ever make a 100% serious recap of the timeline, I will let you know. But I don't personally have the skills to do that, because I'm heavily biased, since I've been here since 2014, and my views are very slanted. I thought the crying child was Michael Afton for a very long time, and those are some words you might never ever understand what I mean, but maybe with the help of this video you will. So buckle down, grab a snack. You'll be here for about maybe 20 minutes. Alright, let's cut to my boyfriend. Thank you.
FNaF is such a fun, cute, miserable, entertaining little dungeon of a franchise with one of the biggest echo chambers of fun I've ever experienced. But there's a variety of things like the timeline, and it's really goofy. And you may be wondering, now, Edward, how did this become this? Well, I'm gonna do my best to explain how that went from that to the best of my ability in this here video.
I hope you die in a fire.
Alright, at the beginning of the FNaF timeline, if you know what FNaF is, it's Five Nights at FNaF. Anywhom, so it starts with two businessmen slash engineers, fresh out of college, bright ideas but no idea how to put them to use. They see similar companies like Chica's entertainment thing and all that shit, and they're like, what if we did that but better? And then they came up with the idea of Five Nights at FNaF, and I mean by that is the Fredbear Diner, and all the Freddy Fazbear Pizza stuff and all that. Alright, but it starts with two people, Henry, Emily, and William Afton. Now, Henry's a little bit of a goofy goober, so we're just gonna ignore him for a bit. Meanwhile, who about this William Afton feller? Now, funny story, he has a family, and even funnier, FNaF 4 is basically his kid in a coma, like a comatose, and you might be wondering, well, how did that happen? So, there's these things called spring lock suits. They're wearable suits, and also suits that automate themselves. So it's for like their business at the Fredbear Diner, I'm pretty sure it's called. And William just loves to put on the spring Bonnie suit, is what it's called. And the other one's Golden Freddy, but he doesn't really like it that much. He just hangs around and drools at the mouth for the most part. So his son, like Evan, which we don't even know its name, but it's probably his name, is just chilling at his party. He's not having a good time. He's an introvert loser, but he's chilling. And then his big brother Michael is like, hee 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 ha, grr. And it wouldn't be funny if I shoved my brother inside the suit in front of my friends. And then he picked up his little brother Evan, and Michael took his little brother in front of his friends, and then he shook him a bit, and he didn't actually do that, and then he put him in front of the little big old Fredbear, the Springlock Fredbear, and the little boy was bawling. He was terrified of animatronics, but Michael thought it was pretty funny. Let me be fair, his friends did too, and I did too. They're just being goofy goobers, messing around. But Springlocks are really, really loose, and especially with water and moist areas, they just like snap in place. So when he went to give Evan to kiss Fredbear's jaw is locked up because of Evan's tears, and then a bit of his head got, so that traumatized like pretty much everyone there, including Michael. Afton didn't seem to care. William's like, whatever. I have a daughter like Elizabeth and Michael. It's fine, whatever. But Michael was in the hospital, like terrified. Meanwhile, the final moments of this kid's life are all the fears he has. So FNaF 4 is basically William Afton's son, Evan Afton, having a comatose hallucination, daydreaming, and it's just wild. Also, just to mention for clarity, while this is going on in FNaF 4, the pizza business is booming, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is booming, so the location of FNaF 1 is built during this time period. Also, just an additional little side note, I feel like it's really funny that the Evan is known as the crying child, because there's so many crying children in Five Nights at Freddy's. It's the silliest thing ever. Why is there only one crying child? No, there's hundreds. Who even fucking knows? Anyway, I'm sorry for that tangent. Back to business.
Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're hard-fitted indeed. Being a pirate is a right. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Alright, so Five Nights at Freddy's 2. There's a little bit of mini-games in this one. This is when mini-games were actually introduced into the game series, and they're very important. For example, Foxy Go 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 minigame shows Foxy cheering children on every few days, and then one day this weird purple man shows up, and all of a sudden the kids are all dead. So that's a bit oopsie. There's another minigame, for example, called Give Life, where the puppet gives life to all the dead children, and then at the last second another child appears in the center and Golden Freddy appears, which hints towards the fact that there are 5 children, which explains Golden Freddy's existence as a child that was never found or put to rest properly. Now, you might be wondering, well, who is not who is, but who? Yeah, actually, no, fine. Who is the cause of these events? And basically, William's Afton funny killing spree kills all the children. So now all the withered animatronics are suddenly become haunted. In order to protect children from these murders, however, that are happening, I mean, if I was a businessman running a kids restaurant and my customers, being kids, were dying out, I'd do something. So the security team come together in a boardroom meeting, basically, and hey, we gotta stop this. So the new Fazbear animatronics, which are the toy animatronics, are given new security code to stop any criminals from entering the building, and also they conspired to get rid of a kitchen, so they don't even have a kitchen. That way they can't be told their pizza sucks from previous establishments. So yeah, that's what it is for the business aspect of the game. Alright, so for the first 6 nights, my bad, for the first 5 nights, you play as just some standard Fazbear Entertainment employee named Jeremy Fitzgerald. Now, Jeremy is just standard employee. This is standard procedure. Night shift. He got flipped to night shift. It's whatever. Except the animatronics do get a bit quirky at night, and for some reason they mistake him for a criminal, and they mistake the adults for criminals, and all of a sudden the animatronics are becoming slowly more aggressive to the adults, but they stay friendly to kids for now. So throughout the week, Jeremy's having like a rough 5 days, 9 to 5, more like 12 to 6, but he's suffering, but he makes it through the 5 days, and the company acknowledges like Jeremy's complaints because of this wild animatronics. They say, "All right, Jeremy, one more night. Okay, we'll switch you to day shift. There's one last shebang. The business is going under because all these animatronics going quirky, but we'll switch you to day shift." So he gets switched to day shift for this final party. The final party for this establishment. It's getting shut down. It's not doing so with all these animatronics going haywire. New employee named Fritz Smith comes out of nowhere, and he basically tampers with funny stuff with the animatronics. And he's the Night 6 night guard, and it is believed this is actually Michael Afton just undercover. So, another piece of the puzzle in Michael's search for his father.
Hello, me again. Remember me? Yeah, we're back. Hi. I'm cutting in to tell you about FNaF 5, since when me and my boyfriend were deciding which games to talk about, he said he didn't want to talk about FNaF 5, or Sister Location, which is fine by me. I love talking about Sister Location.
I kidnapped you.
There's just so much weird going on with it. So, Sister Location. I don't know where he left off, but, you remember Michael Afton? If not, Michael Afton is the son of William Afton. You know, that guy that killed all those kids? Yeah, okay. So, Michael Afton, he's just chilling, watching his little
Baby isn't mine.
He gets a letter in the mail from dear old dad, who's probably behind a wall in a pizzeria in a furry suit. He gets a letter from his dear old dad.
We just got a letter. 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 Wonder who it's from.
Michael, don't leave me here. Michael,
Michael, you have to go down into the basement, Michael. Michael, there's really important stuff down in the basement. There's super important stuff down in the basement. Go down into the basement. Michael goes down into the basement. And there is some really interesting stuff down in the basement. Like his sister's ghost is in the basement. How did she get there? Well, way back in 1983 or maybe 85. I don't know. We don't know. Who cares? Little Elizabeth Afton. She adores her father. She adores her pops. She just absolutely adores him, and he adores her, and they have such a good relationship. Shut the fuck up, Michael. Shut up, Michael. Sweet little Elizabeth. Oh, sweet little Elizabeth. Shut up, Evan. Shut up, Evan. Shut up, Evan. Shut up, Michael. Oh, Elizabeth. Anyway, and so William Afton, the great father that he is, builds a robot for his little girl, a circus baby for his brand new restaurant because he killed too many kids in the other one. His brand new restaurant, Circus Baby's Pizza World. Wowee. And it's got this disgusting and horrible circus aesthetic, and it's got like human robots, and I don't know what Elizabeth sees in it, but she's all rootin' tootin' for it, bro. She loves this place, and she loves Circus Baby. But the thing is that, William Afton, when he first killed those kids, those five kids in the last one, Gabriel, Fritz, Jeremy, Susie, and Cassidy. When he first killed those kids and then stuck them in the suits, and he kind of discovered that their ghosts their ghosts had appeared, and their ghosts were attached to the metal in the suits. And he called that remnant. And he couldn't really experiment on those things, and so he needed another way to get remnant. And so he built these new clown robots to go kill kids for him at his brand new restaurant. And so knowing that Circus Baby was, you know, kind of made to kill kids, and he made it for his daughter, he made this murder robot for his daughter without telling her that the robot kills kids. And, you know, you can't really have your kid around the robot that kills kids. And so he's like, Elizabeth, listen to me. Elizabeth, listen to me, darling, I love you. But you cannot go to that robot. I know, I built it for you, but you cannot go to the robot. Don't go to it. But Daddy, didn't you say you made her just shut up? And so opening day comes around and everything's going fine, and then William takes his eyes off of his little precious little girl for like five seconds. She wanders off and goes to Circus Baby because, you know, she's just a little rebel. She loves that clown. She wants to go see that clown, you know. And so she goes to see the clown, and you know, the killer robot does what it does. It kills kids and it kills her. And William didn't really like that. He did not prepare for the robot to kill that kills kids to kill kids, and so he shuts down his cool new restaurant on the opening day, and now Elizabeth's soul is in the clown, and that's how Elizabeth ended up in the basement. And now her and her cool friends, the mix and match metal spirits of the Funtime animatronics, which are made from the spirits of the original 5 kids after William tore them apart and used them for parts and then melted them down into Remnant and then put them in the Funtime animatronics. And now Elizabeth and the Funtimes are they want out of the basement. And Michael comes into the basement and they're like, oh my god, Michael, what's up, dude, how you doing? Hey dude, we're gonna use you as a meat puppet. And so they scoop out his innards and they hop inside as this big amalgamation called Ennard. They all hop in and use Michael as a little suit, and they go through and they just use him. But you know, the thing about using things as a meat suit is that they kind of turn into corpses, and corpses kind of begin to rot. And so once Michael's corpse starts rotting, they kind of dip. But the thing is that Remnant keeps things alive and heals things, and so, you know, Remnant fixes up Michael real good, and Elizabeth goes, you won't die, and he doesn't die. And he's now a corpse, and he's like, okay, I guess I'm here then. And he vows to come and find his father, who's probably behind a wall at this point in the timeline. You know, Sister Location kind of takes place in some really weird areas. We don't know where Sister Location takes place. There's a lot of unknowns about Sister Location. But yeah, yep, Michael goes out on his little corpse adventure to go find his father. He's living in shadows. Go off, Michael. I believe in you. Anyway, back to my boyfriend.
Foxy, look out!
Michael Afton has returned, and he's under the alias of Mike Smith, I believe, or Schmidt. I forget which, it's one or the other. Anywhom, so Mike is on a quest to find his father, so he starts at the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza place in hopes to get some clue. It doesn't really bring him much, and then he gets fired for, first of all, tampering with the animatronics. And then secondly, for smelling like grease and pudding and sewage all at the same time, which was not a good look for employers or an employee's fellow co-workers. So, yeah, he quickly gets fired, not even after a week of joining the crew. So this is a shame, but Michael is now unemployed.
Springtrap, I'm back. He threw me in the back, and you hear that? Cause.
Next, Michael Afton visits the local Fazbear Frights, a new up-and-coming Halloween store / Fazbear Entertainment memorial thing. I don't know, it's just to play on the whole spooks and rumors about the thing. And funny story, I know I've told a few already, but another one is so William Afton, turns out it was a furry all along, been hiding in the local Freddy Fazbear's Pizza basement. The employees found him and thought it'd be good to just like, hey, what if we use this for the little spooky house? And that's what they did. So they just have this dead, rotting corpse just walking around in their hallways, and Michael Afton comes walking along, is like, hey, wait a minute, the furry, that last furry I saw wearing, that was my father. He must pay for his crimes for not only being a furry, but being my father, and also kind of killing those children. So Michael does a base decision of just burning everything to the ground to get back at William, and this totally works. Right? He's totally dead, right, guys? Right? He's dead now, right? We're gonna just give a minute of silence ish for this absolute banger real quick. Alright, now it's time. You may be wondering, so, now that we had to wait a minute, what was that for? Nothing. I made you wait for absolutely nothing. I just really like that one minigame. I played it hundreds of times when I played through FNaF 6, and I just wanted to share my joy. Anywho, what's the gameplay of FNaF 6 like? You just build your own pizzeria, and then there's an office phase where you defend your pizzeria, and then there's a third phase where you get new animatronics or throw them out. It's just really fun, and you might be wondering, oh, this is just a cute little pizza fun thing then, right? No, it's not. This is now, this is supposed to be the ending of all of Five Nights at Freddy's. This is the big shebang where everything ties together and finishes up, and meh. Also, there's like a funny little mini game you can play. I forget what it's called, but basically you play as the first girl who is murdered. Hee oh no. You have to complete it perfectly like 3 times in a row to get the ending where, like, she dies, and because William Afton or whatever, you know what I mean? Don't worry about it. So basically, the plot of Five Nights at Freddy's 6 is really annoying, but really simple technically. Not really, that's the lie, it's complicated. So, that guy we mentioned earlier in the beginning for FNaF 4, Henry Emily, William Afton's business partner. Well, it turns out the security puppet guard at one of the Fredbear diners failed to successfully save Charlie, which would be Henry's daughter, from dying to, I think it's like William Afton or some random murder out in the street. Oops. So that's how Charlie became the puppet, because Puppet went to save her. It kind of crumpled up and broke, but infused with her soul, so there's where the puppet comes from. And Henry is filled with grief for years, and then finds out William's still kicking, and he plans to kill him in one fell swoop, and all the other remnants of agony that weren't released by the events of FNaF 3 and the good ending, or FNaF 4 good ending, or whatever, fucking ever. One of the good endings for one of the games. I've already forgotten. I don't even care anymore, but basically, the souls that have yet to be freed, things like the ones inside Molten Freddy, which is just Scrap Baby removed from what's called Ennard, because Ennard had some beef with Baby and they broke up, and now Molten Freddy and Baby are two separate things. Lefty, who is actually a reincarnation, or new design made from the puppet to capture it, and it works. So that way Charlie, Henry's daughter, can be free. Michael Afton, who is the security guard here, so his agony can finally be let go, or his remnant, and he can finally die as a free spirit and be free. And then William Afton, because he's a bitch and needs to go to hell, so finally can kill him. Fire didn't work first time. 30 years didn't work. You know what if we added another fire to the list of FNaF stuff? So let's see what happens.
You played right into our hands. Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you? No. This was a gift for us. You gathered them all together in one place, just like he asked you to. All of those little souls in one place, just for us. A gift. Now we can do what we were created to do and be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch, listen, and be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
Congratulations on completing your work week. We apologize if your situation wasn't presented to you in a completely honest fashion when you first started, but it was important that your intentions and actions be genuine. Here at Fazbear Entertainment, we value fun, family, and food. But more importantly, we value our commitment to atoning for past mistakes and tying up loose ends. Thank you for your participation. There is no need for you to return to work next week, as Fazbear Entertainment is no longer a corporate entity. Please accept this certificate of completion. Goodbye for now, and thank you for taking this journey with us.
So, after seeing that, you may potentially think, just a small chance, that it's over. The story is over. It's all been wrapped up. Nothing else to worry about, right? Wouldn't that make sense? That FNaF would just be over by then? Nah, it wouldn't. Apparently not. So, now we get all this new fun stuff.
Not in reverse.
Shit!
The idea of that,
Freddy, how are you already almost out of battery? I swear to God. Freddy. I literally just charged you.
I don't know. Why are you climbing on that box?
So, yeah, you know, after the FNAF 6 fire, you know, and all that, yeah, there's UCN. I've already recorded everything. I forgot to record UCN. Because honestly, it's not that lore significant. It's just telling you that William Afton is in HE double hockey sticks. He's in hell. So, I don't know. He's in hell, and then there's Agony and Cassidy. You remember Cassidy, that kid who possessed Golden Freddy? Yeah, she's there. He's there? Who knows? Maybe Cassidy probably might not even be their actual name. They may actually be Andrew, but that might also be just only in the books. Who knows? But that spirit, that Golden Freddy spirit, it's keeping William Afton alive. That's no good. It's either keeping his spirit attached to his body, which then explains why he's in Help Wanted / Security Breach, or it's just because I don't know, man. It's just, Help Wanted and Security Breach are very confusing. But UCN is just showing that William Afton's still kind of alive in personal torment heck. Yippee! Woohoo! So, after FNAF 6, where do we go from there? Well, you see, Remnant's kind of got a counterpart called Agony. Agony, it's pain and suffering in objects and whatever. I don't know. I'm getting through the books. I'm struggling, but you know, this Agony stuff. It's not like Remnant. It don't burn away in fires. It sticks, and well, you know, fire may clear out Remnant, but it don't clear out Agony, and so all this agony from all the murder and death and trapped behind walls, it just kind of sticks around and forms in this big ball, this kind of blob. Yeah, it's not good. Let me tell you, me, not good. Some stuff happens. You know how they said Fazbear Entertainment was no longer a corporate entity? Well, they kind of lied, but they kind of didn't. They're now a limited liability company, which means that they don't limited liability. Now it's like it's complicated stuff, man. Real complicated. And so now, who is behind the company? We don't know. But all we do know is that they want to put things back together, which is never a good thing. We have learned this is never a good thing. And so these people, this whoever's running this LLC company, they start to put things back together. They launch this service, which may or may not be a mobile app. I don't know. We're in the year of 2023, canonically, in the FNAF timeline. This service launches, I forget what it's called. I don't know. The game's kind of dead. FNAF AR. You know that they released a mobile game. It's still alive, but it's not getting any updates, so it's kind of dead. But they released this thing, and now the robots can come to you remotely. Woohoo! Yippee! Woohoo! We all love getting our Freddy Fazbear in the morning. Woohoo! But the thing is, they kind of reused old parts from the fire, which we already established that after the fire, it all kind of accumulated into a big ball of agony, and so all this agony is getting put into things, and now things are real bad. And so Bonnie eats a cat, and all these people who are trying to ship out all these animatronics, they're like, dude, this sucks. Guys, this like really sucks, and we're all gonna die. And I don't think they all die. I don't know. I didn't follow that storyline. But the thing that matters the most is that these people behind the company, they can scan pieces of parts, and so we have all these parts, and they put it in stuff. Yeah, okay, agony? Yeah, okay, put a pin in that, because all agony's being circulated to bring back the Afton family, because they want to put it back together, because they're all dead, and that's no good. I don't know. It's really, the future of this franchise is very uncertain. We have a lot of unanswered questions with the quote-unquote reboot of this franchise. So put a pin on all that. Agony back. Okay? This girl named Vanessa. This girl named Vanessa, she's working for an indie game company called Silver Parasol Games. And Fazbear Entertainment approaches them with a box of parts and are like, hey, can you make us a VR game? Thanks. And so they give them these parts to scan into the game to expedite the process. Pretty neato, pretty cool, pretty future. Wow, so cool. And so they start scanning in these pieces, but little do they know, there is this program called the Mimic. The Mimic is in the parts, and so this thing, it sees William Afton, and the Mimic, it mimics things, and so it mimics William Afton, and it becomes William Afton. Either that, or it is William Afton's spirit, or agony, or whatever, just in the parts, because agony's in the parts from the fire, which is where Fazbear Entertainment got these parts.
The drawers have been emptied out. Someone was here. I don't think it was spring cleaning either. No, there was plastic on the floor. Someone was definitely here during the night. It had to have been the client. I mean, they sent us that stuff in the first place with no explanation, told us to scan it, said it would expedite the process so we wouldn't need to program any pathfinding ourselves. It was a budget thing, I guess. It was just junk. Circuit boards and things like that. Looked pretty old. Somehow, though, there was usable code on some of it. It seemed to take hold by itself. Things started changing. But then, he started appearing. At least that's what Jeremy said.
And so, by building this VR game, they're putting William Afton into a PS4 game. Oh no. Not William Afton. That's so bad. Oh no. So this guy named Jeremy, no relation to Jeremy Fitzgerald or Jeremy the Missing Kid, no relation, just another third-party Jeremy. This guy, he works at Silver Parasol, and he's a playtester. And so he's playtesting, and this William Afton thing, either Mimic or Spirit or Agony, just kind of rolls up and is like, hey man, what's up? You want to join my cult? It's really cool. We're from the 80s. And Jeremy is like, no, and he cuts off his face. And Vanessa, you remember her, Vanessa? She sees this, and it's like, whoa, bro, what? Did that guy just cut off his face? And so, and so she's a playtester now, and so, she's playtesting, and William Afton rolls up on her, and he's like, hey, you want to join my cult? And she is weak sauce. She's so lame, and she falls under control of William Afton, and I don't know, the VR game gets released or whatever, I don't know, but William Afton's got a new girlfriend. Her name's Vanessa. Yeah. And so she leaves the little indie company, and she goes to Fazbear, and he's like, IT at Fazbear. and she starts looking up all these red flag search terms, and this guy named Lewis, he's just a little sweet little doll, or you can either read him as a sweet little doll character who's just such a sweet little puppy love, or you can read him as a creep at work. Either way, doesn't matter. But this guy, he's like, hey Vanessa, I noticed that you're like searching all these restricted terms like guillotine or what is that called? Thumb torture device, and how many limbs can you cut off a person before they lose consciousness, or I mean, that's really cool, man. Really gritty emo stuff, but like you can't be searching that up on the school, or not school. You can't be searching that up on the work time. You can't do that. And Vanessa just totally doesn't care at all. She doesn't care. And eventually she somehow breaks into the Fazbear systems and lets herself in to be head of security over at the new and improved bangin' Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, which like is this super cool mega mall with an 80s aesthetic. Super cool. And so she totally leaves IT and goes to be head of security there. Also, alongside this, maybe Vanessa got some help from this kid named Gregory. We don't know where Gregory comes from. Maybe he played the video game and got possessed by William, or maybe he's a robot version of Evan. You remember that kid that got his head bitten off by Michael's cool prank? You remember that kid? Maybe Gregory's a rebuilt robot version of Evan? I don't know. Maybe that, or maybe something else. Who cares? And so this kid, Gregory, he is a little tech wizard, and he's under the influence of William Afton as Glitch Trap, or whatever. Gregory breaks into the Pizzaplex, and he's this weirdo hacker kid, and then there's like something with therapists and killing therapists, which may or may not be Gregory. I don't know, man. And so Gregory's in the Pizzaplex, and then he suddenly is, he's a good guy. He's a little kid. He's like, Freddy, I'm Freddy Fazbear. I'm in your room, and Freddy, I'm really scared, bro. And Freddy is like, whoa, kid, we're gonna be best friends. And so then security breach happens at the Freddy Fazbear Mega Pizzaplex, and Gregory is trying to get out of the Pizzaplex before it closes, and Freddy's trying to help him. And then there's also Vanessa is there sometimes, very occasionally, very rarely, Vanessa is there. And so some stuff happens. I don't really know what happened. Nobody knows what happens in security breach. There's a lot of theories circulating right now that maybe Charlie's spirit is completely possessing the entirety of the Pizzaplex, and there's something Mimic, something Tiger Rock. William Afton has a new persona. I don't know. But yeah. So Gregory and Freddy find this little place under this place called the Roxy Raceway, and they go down an elevator and they reach you remember that place from FNaF 6, the pizza place? Yeah, okay, you know that place? Yeah, they built on top of it because whoever was trying to put back together the Afton family thought that was a really good idea, was to build it on top of the old pizzeria, probably because that's where William Afton's spirit was, or whatever is going on in security breach. And so Freddy and Gregory go down there, and they face off against Afton. Whoa, such a crazy boss battle happens, and then fire. There's a lot of fire. Like, they set William Afton on fire again because William Afton's down there for some reason. And the whole. Do you remember the big ball of agony, that blob thing? Yeah, it's down there too. And they set that on fire, even though that won't work. But and then William Afton gets kidnapped by the agony, and Gregory and Freddy escape, and maybe they escape. I don't know. We don't know anything. And then the DLC. Whoa, the DLC. Whoa. Man, we don't know what's going on in the DLC. And there's Help 1 and 2. I don't know, did they cover all my bases? That's it. That's all there is. Until a security breach DLC releases, or Help Wanted, whichever one's first, until either one of those, or probably the DLC. Maybe even the movie. Oh yeah, the movie's happening too. God, there's so much. Goodness. Until one of those happens, you're caught up. Go, if you are looking for something more, if you're looking for something more substantial, go on YouTube. Go on YouTube. There's a lot more substantial theories and timelines. MatPat just finished releasing his big theory a while ago, so you should go watch that, because that's a lot more in-depth and understandable and digestible than whatever I've recorded in 13 minutes and 14 minutes. So you go watch that, because that's more substantial. And if you still aren't satisfied, play the games first. They're pretty cheap on Steam. If you don't have Steam, then they're on every other console imaginable, like mobile and Xbox and PlayStation 4 and 5 and Nintendo Switch and probably on your Nintendo DS. So you go look it up, because they're only like $7 unless you're on mobile, and then you have to pay like $20 because you want to play UCN on mobile. That sounds like so much fun. You go pay $7 to go experience actual literal hell on your phone. And if you're done with the games, you don't want to play any more games, go read the books, because there's at least 20. They won't do anything for you, really. They just kind of make you hurt. Yeah. So yeah, that's if you're looking for more FNaF, you will find more FNaF. There's a lot. This series is nearly 10 years old, and there's a lot to be out there. So you go look out there, you'll find it. Anything will be better than whatever I've spoken. I've just spoken gibberish into the mic for like 15 minutes. I believe in you. Go find it. Love you. Okay, bye.